Yo, what is happening? My name is Apton and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Cyber series where I'm going to be building an epic futuristic cyberpunk city from scratch. This is episode 6, and in the last episode we got the floor of the shop completely built out, so now the only thing left to do is just build the rest of the shop. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing in this episode. So with that said, let's just get straight into it. I want to start off with the back of the shop. So I'm just going to place down one of these just to space things out. So this is 7 studs in and 1 stud away from the edge of this platform right here. We're going to place a corner wall right here, and we're just gonna go up 3 studs. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side as well. And there we go, guys. That is the framing for the back of the shop. Next, we're basically just gonna place some skinny smooth walls right here and right here. Next, we're just gonna place down some walls of ice wood, just large floors right here, going all the way up this way. Of course, we're just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. We're just mirroring the exact same thing. And with that all filled in, we're just going to go ahead and place down some skinny smooth walls right here. And these will be filled with birch wood, like so. And then we're gonna leave a 12 stud gap. So let me just measure this real quick. 12 studs right here, and then we're going to place another column right here so we can actually destroy these right here. And we're just going to go up 3 as always, and then as per usual we're just going to mirror that on the other side. And then we're gonna take some large floors and we're gonna place them up like this. We're just doing the exact same thing we did on that side with some more ice wood. And with that all filled in, we're just going to do yet another strip of birchwood columns on both sides, just like that. Oh, that is actually looking so cool so far. That's awesome. Alrighty guys, next step is just to thicken these columns. So we're actually gonna make these 3 wide, and then we're gonna do it for these 2 as well right here. Of course, doing the exact same thing on the other side, and now we're just gonna fill those all in with birch. Alrighty guys, these columns are looking nice and thick, and now the next step is actually to make these icewood walls look absolutely epic, guys. They're gonna look so cool. So basically, we're gonna take some 2x4 wedges. Let's see if we can find them right here. We're just gonna place them like so. We're just zigzagging it all the way up. We're gonna do that for all of them. So we're just gonna copy the exact same pattern over and over again for each and every one of these icewood walls. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's do the exact same thing on the other side. Yeah, this is just gonna make the building look really structurally sound, which is awesome. And of course, it's gonna give it that signature sci-fi futuristic look, which I can't wait for this thing to be fully finished because it's gonna look so freaking cool. But you can already see how cool this is looking. So we got those zigzags done. Jab's just going to fill those in. The next step is actually to place in a curve. So basically, we're just gonna place in some extra skinny smooth walls right here, and we're basically just gonna make a curve right here, and that's just going to support the roof. But we also want the front of the shop to be completely glass. It's gonna look super cool because it's just gonna make all of the items inside of the shop super visible, so people that are just driving by will be able to see all of the items in the shop, and hopefully they'll be attracted inside so that they'll look at the items and they will probably buy some just because the shop looks so epic. That's the plan. Hopefully people are just gonna look at that shop, take one good look, and they're gonna be like, I want to buy from that. But yeah, we need to make that glass look a little bit more structurally stable while still looking pretty futuristic. So basically, we're just gonna place in a 1/4 wedge right here. This is 6 studs up. And then we're gonna take a 2x4 wedge right here. We're basically just making a curve. Hopefully you can start to see what I'm going for. Next is a 2x3 wedge. Let's see if we can find one right here. Perfect. And then a 2x2 wedge. We're pretty much halfway through. We're just gonna take these 3 wedges and mirror them so it just completes the curve. So we're gonna take a 2/3 wedge, place it right here, then a 2/4 wedge, and a 1x4 wedge right here. And hopefully, yeah, that should be perfectly flush with the top of the building. That's looking awesome. So now we just gotta basically fill in all of these gaps somehow. First of all, I'm just gonna place some posts right here. That's gonna be the easiest, I think. I don't know. This is always the hardest part, is just filling in the gaps that are left by making curves with wedges. It always sucks. Unfortunately, usually you end up having to use tiny floors, which really sucks because it takes so much freaking wood to fill all that in. We're gonna have to do like 4 tiny floors right there. That sucks. All right, that is that curve done. Awesome. All right, there we go. We got that down, so we now have a curve right here, which is awesome. And now we still have a little bit of a gap right here that we can put in some glass panes, so we don't have to worry about the wedges getting in the way of the glass panes. We can actually put it behind all of the wedges, which is actually going to be super convenient. Otherwise, we would have to glitch them in, which would take freaking forever. Alrighty guys, we got that done. It's actually looking pretty weird right now without the roof of the shop, but I promise once the roof of the shop is on here, it's all gonna come together. We just have to wait for that. But first of all, we're actually going to go ahead and turn our attention to the back of the shop. So we're actually going to thicken these back pillars up a little bit by placing in some corners right here. And then for the bottom, we're actually going to fill them in with some more corners. We're just going to fill that all in completely. And we're actually going to do the same thing for the top. And there we go. That's looking awesome. Next, we're actually going to take out our 2/4 wedges that we used for these zigzags on the ice walls. And we're actually going to place them like so. Basically just going to make strips all along the back. Hopefully this will fit perfectly. Oh yes, it does. Perfect. And yeah, that's looking awesome. So now we're basically just gonna do the exact same thing over and over and over again. We're just gonna fill this entire thing with strips. Man, that is taking the back of the shop to the next level. I really like the way that's looking. So this is basically gonna be a window. I haven't really decided if we're gonna put in some glass panes behind it. We could put some glass panes right here and no one would be able to get through, but already people can't get through, so I don't know. We kind of want to keep people out of the shop as much as possible just so that they can't mess with things, because I don't like it when all my stuff gets tampered with. It takes forever to put them back on the shelves and whatever. So for this shop, we're actually going to make sure that everything is as secure as possible. Make sure that Jab right here can't blow everything up like what happened in the last series. Yeah, you would, Jab. I know you would, because you did. Alrighty, guys. The final wall that we're actually going to be putting in here is going to go right here. It's not much of a wall. It's just a couple of pillars. We're basically just going to continue this pattern that we did on the floor, just upwards this way. Of course, making sure that we fill in all of the blueprints that we want of the same wood before we put in the blueprints that we want of ice wood, just so that we don't end up filling in the wrong blueprints. But yeah, guys, we got all of these skinny smooth walls filled with birch. So now the next thing is actually to put in some posts, and this is all going to be filled in with some ice wood. And looks like Jab is done with the back. Man, that is looking so awesome. This is looking so sick from this angle. That's so cool. Cannot wait for this thing to be done. It's gonna be so freaking cool. Alright, we got all of those filled in. That's awesome. So now I guess we should get some more birch wood, although it's actually day right now, so it might actually be a better idea to go grab some glass, because we need a bunch of glass. So let's just, oh, Jab's sitting in the perfect spot that he just tried to steal the freaking driver's seat. Jab, I don't think that's you're sad. Where are you sitting? What? I don't think that's a seat. Is that legal? I don't think that's legal. You can't sit there, bro. You need a seatbelt. Okay, I'm just gonna that's definitely not a seat right there. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and lower the bridge real quick. Is Jab still with us? Yes, he is. Oh, this is too goofy. Okay, let's go this way. We're just dragging along a Jab. He's actually pushing my car. We're going forward a very, very slight amount. I'm not accelerating or anything. I'm not holding W. This is entirely powered by Jab. This is Jab powered. No gas involved, no petrol. That's awesome. Okay, let's get ourselves over to fancy furnishings. Let's see, where's the sun? It's high in the sky, so we still have plenty of time to go grab some glass. I don't think we can get this truck into fancy furnishings without glitching it, but I will be glitching it because I don't want to go back and grab a new car. Okay, Jab's Jab's dead. I think he's gonna go grab a new car. Oh, Jab's here. Awesome. He's got the vehicle, so we're just gonna go ahead and buy these, and Jab's got a good idea. He's just gonna go ahead and buy some of those blueprints. It's always a good idea to have the extra blueprints that are at fancy furnishings. So let's buy all of these. Alrighty guys, that is going to be all of the blueprints. Jab's also got all of the fancy furnishings blueprints, so that is awesome. Now all that's left to do is start filling this truck up with glass, and we're basically just gonna use the truck as a shopping cart, which is going to be super nice. Hopefully we don't get glitched. So let's see, are we gonna be able to interact with these? Yes, we are, so that's awesome. Alrighty guys, this is going to be the last bit of glass that we need for this build. Alright, we are almost back to the base. Now it is time to start placing in some of these. So I'm just gonna place them basically like this, and yeah, that's not right. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I think my math was wrong. This is a bit of a problem. How did that happen? Okay. Jab's dead. Yep. Okay, so I think... give me a second to figure out what just happened. Okay, so I think what's wrong is that these are not actually supposed to be here. No! Okay, so I think we're gonna have to move this entire section backwards. I really don't want to have to do that, but this is not fitting correctly, which is not how it's supposed to be. Yeah, so we're gonna have to move this entire thing backwards. We're just gonna destroy all of these. These were not... I don't know how that happened. Basically, we just have to move everything 2 studs backwards now. Yeah, kinda sucks. Alrighty guys, I got this entire side moved over 2 studs. That took forever, but you guys can see that this right here is now 2 studs instead of 4, which is perfect. Everything is back 2 studs, and now we can finally fix this issue. So basically these panes were going out a little bit too far. They're not supposed to go out that far. They're actually supposed to be 1 stud back, and in order to fix that, I had to move everything back because that's how it was supposed to be. But anyways, now we can go ahead and move this back like so. We're basically just gonna do that for all of these. There we go. We got that. Oh, that took forever to fix, but I mean, it's kind of every time I try to build something, I build it wrong. Alright, now it is time to place these in right here. And by the way, as a side note, if you place down glass, you guys can see that it's on one side. You can rotate that and then it goes onto the other side. We're just trying to make sure that the glass is on the inside so that this gap right here is as small as possible. If we placed these on the other side, if we rotated them wrong, you guys can see that that gap is way bigger. But if we place down the glass like this, we have a much smaller gap right here. And that's what we're going for. So I'm just going to place this up this way. And yeah, that is looking really nice. I really love the look of that glass. It's so seamless. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to put in another window. We're just going to basically put in the rest of the glass panes back here. We're not going to have enough to finish that window. That's infuriating, but I guess we'll have to wait until day to get some more glass panes. While we're waiting for that, we can actually put in this front door. So basically we're just going to stack a bunch of glass doors right here. We're just trying to keep the front of the shop as see-through as possible. Once again, just because that's going to make it very easy for people to view inside. So yeah, you guys can see if there's items in there, people are gonna be able to see inside of there. and they're gonna be attracted in. Hopefully that's the goal. Alrighty guys, we can fix that right there. Okay, that's oh, I placed it wrong. 1 second. Let's rotate it so it'll be in the exact same orientation. All right, so now it is seamless. That is awesome. Cannot wait for this to be done. It is looking so freaking cool. I'm getting so excited. So the next thing that we are going to need to do is actually to put in some side doors, because like I said, we can't leave the shop open. We need to have some sort of way to keep people out when we don't want people in here, because there's going to be a bunch of items that we don't want them messing with. So we're going to add some side doors to this thing. So for that, we're actually going to start off with some countertops, and we're actually going to put the countertops on the sides, and we're going to actually be filling these in with walnut wood, and that's actually going to give us an almost black color, which is super, super cool. And we're starting with the sides, because if you do it that way, then you can actually place in countertops just directly inside of the other countertops. If you do it the other way around, if you place in one at the bottom and you try to place in the side one, not only is it really hard to actually place into the right spot, but once you actually do and you move this over, you guys can see that there's a gap, which we don't want, because then we can't place the next one. It's not going to be seamless. So if you place in the sides first, and then you place in the bottom, you guys can see that it goes way easier. You get all of that placed directly inside, and we can actually fit that in. Alrighty guys, now I'm just gonna go ahead and place in the top, and just like that, we got one side done. That is just the frame of the door. So we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side real quick, like so. That is that side done. That's awesome. The next thing that we gotta do is actually place in some smooth walls, like so, and these are going to be filled in with birch wood, and these are basically just gonna frame the door. Alrighty guys, we got the framing in. We also put down some skinny smooth walls on the top and bottom, so that is now framed out, and that's looking really nice. We got that on both sides. And now what we need to do is we need to actually go to Link's Logic. Looks like the ferry is just arriving, which is perfect. So let's go take a trip over to Link's Logic. Alrighty guys, we are going, and what's up with Jab's car? It's just attached. That is so weird. Okay, we are almost there, and if we look up in the sky, yeah, it looks like the moon is still like basically right above our heads. Link's Logic is not going to open for a while. I'll just put my camera through here and just open the door, and I'm just gonna sit here and wait. Jab wants in. Bro, Jab just got his car in here. Just average things you do to a shop when it's closed. Hope you don't mind. We're driving in your shop, Lincoln. Wake up! Lincoln! Wake up! Dang, this is like the heaviest sleeper I've ever seen in my life. Lincoln? Bro, I don't think you're allowed to park there. Alrighty, guys. Looks like Link has awoken. Wow. Bro, you are the heaviest sleeper I've ever seen. Okay, we just need 12 hatches and 8 pressure plates, and then just an absurd amount of neon wires. So yeah, guys, now we just gotta get these back to the base. Okay, guys, we have made it back to... Oh gosh, what's happening to all my items? Shoot, okay. Let's get these into my truck, and then we gotta get these all onto the base before... Oh my... What are you doing, chap? I just look over and you're freaking climbing a tree with your truck. Alright, anyways, let's get this back to the base. So yeah, we got a bunch of neon wires, but the main reason we had to go... Oh, Jab, are you doing it again? You're freaking climbing the shop now. The main reason we went over there was because we needed the hatches and the pressure plates. So yeah, guys, to start on these doors, we're basically just gonna place in some of these hatches right here. And we're gonna go 3 high with the hatches. Alrighty guys, we got the other side in, and that is looking awesome. So now what we gotta do is we actually gotta grab some of these pressure plates, and if we place them down, you guys can see that's not very futuristic. It's just wood planks. But if you flip them around, you guys can see this awesome texture. It's like a metal, a very dark gray metal, which is super awesome. We're gonna utilize that, and we're actually gonna place these right here. Alrighty guys, so we got that in both sides. That's looking awesome, and you guys can see that. You can kind of see the output, but honestly it kind of looks like some bolts, which still looks super cool. I kind of like it the way it is. So now what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna take a short smooth wall and we're just gonna place it right here, and then we're gonna go back to our trusty 2/4x1 wedges, and we're just gonna place them like so. We're just basically just making this side tilt down a little bit. It's gonna look super cool. We're gonna do the same on the other side as always. Yeah guys, that is looking so dope. And now guys, I'm actually going to be writing down some letters on this little area right here just to make it look a little bit less plain. So I'm gonna take some neon wires and I'm going to do kind of like a font with this. It's supposed to kind of look like it was done using a stencil and some spray paint. So we're basically just going to kind of place them separated like this, as if there was a bridge right here for the stencil. And basically I'm just writing CS for the Cyber series, which is super cool. Alrighty guys, I think I'm happy with that. If you look at it from a distance, you can definitely read it. It looks like CS. That's super awesome. We're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Now we're gonna start on the roof, and to do that we're gonna need a bunch of skinny smooth walls, and we're just gonna fill these all in with birch wood. And now we're basically just going to make kind of like a rectangle on top of the shop. And yeah, we just wrapped that all the way around, and this is 8 smooth walls all the way over to here. So now we're gonna grab a couple of these short smooth walls. We're just gonna place those against those. And now finally we're just going to cap it off by placing these right here. And we're just gonna cap that off with a short smooth wall. Jab, you just placed that right as I tried to place that. Bro, okay, you place that back. Alrighty guys, we got a little rectangle on the top. And now guys, the next step is basically just to double layer that entire row. Okay guys, Jab has just got back with a bunch of birch wood. Let's get that all through the system. That is quite a bit. That's gonna do us for a while, hopefully. Alrighty guys, this is gonna be the last blueprint. So we got that in. That is looking nice. So that is all double layered. And now guys, guess what it's time for? More skinny smooth walls. Yay! This is probably my most used blueprint in this entire game. I use this blueprint so freaking much. And now we're just gonna do yet another rectangle, just one stud out on all sides, so we'll get a little bit of an overhang. Alrighty guys, these are gonna be the last blueprints that we need to fill, and this layer is gonna be done, which is super exciting. So that should be the last, and yeah, now we have completed that rectangle. So yeah, now it's starting to come together, guys. The next thing we gotta do is actually take some more of these 2/4 wedges. I use these so freaking much. And we're just gonna place those right here. And yeah, you guys can see that gives the roof some really cool shape. We're just gonna extend that all the way along. And there we go. Now the last two, we're actually gonna need some 1x2x4s. And there we go. That's looking so sick, guys. Okay, next we're gonna need some smooth walls, and it looks like Jab is working on some scaffolding, so that's gonna be super handy. But I'm just gonna place this right here, right in between, leaving a little gap right there. Place that in right there, and that's looking nice. So now we got some actual structure holding that up. Now, something that I did notice is that this is actually empty right there. I feel like there should be something there just holding that glass. So I'm just gonna do another layer of these skinny smooth walls right here. And that should bridge that little gap that we had and seal off all of the glass. So yeah, that looks nice. So now we're actually gonna need another layer of smooth walls right here. And I'm thinking actually another layer of these smooth walls here as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna place in that little layer right there. And then this layer of smooth walls And yeah, that just makes everything look a whole lot better. And oh my gosh, Jab went above and beyond when it comes to scaffolding. This thing is crazy, bro. Okay, anyways, we have this little slit right here, which I'm hoping to put lights in. So that's gonna be super awesome. It's kind of bothering me how this is uneven. We might want to fix that. So let's take some small floors and place them right there. And that's just gonna make sure that that is going to be aligned with that. Looks like Jab has put in a massive platform right here that we're going to be able to put a bunch of wood onto, so that's also going to help building. That's gonna be super nice. And now guys, I've actually kind of changed my mind on this right here. I kind of want this to go back a little bit, so I'm actually gonna move these out of the way. We're probably just gonna destroy them actually. And I'm just going to move these back 2 studs like so. And now we're just going to do the same thing we did on the front of the shop over here. So we're just going to take some of these 2/4 wedges and we're just going to place them down like so. And of course using these 1 wide wedges for the very edge. And we're just going to continue that slant upwards by 3. And there we go, we got this little slant done. So that is looking awesome. Now for the right side up wedges, we're actually just gonna do some very thin ones right here and right here. Now I think the next step is actually to get just a absurd amount of conveyors. We need so many. So let's just start buying some conveyors from here. We just need a ton of straight conveyors and we're just gonna put them down, making sure that they're oriented so that the toggles aren't visible. And we're basically just gonna place that all the way along until we get to about right here. And once we get to this point, we're actually gonna place down a turn conveyor right here like so. And unfortunately this little toggle is going to be visible. There's not much I can do about that, but honestly it doesn't look that noticeable, and it kind of also looks like a bolt or something that is meant to be there, so I'm just going to leave it. There's not much I can do about it anyways. But for these ones I can actually flip them around so that the toggles are not visible like so. That's just gonna make things look a little bit more seamless. And there we go, we got the first layer done. Now we're basically just going to be stacking 3 of those. So I'm just gonna place this right here and we're just gonna do that 2 more times. Okay guys, that should be the rest of the conveyors. Yeah guys, that is that done. I'm a little bit annoyed by this little corner right here. I think we're gonna have to fix that. So let's get a large floor in here, I think. So let's just take some large floors and place them in here, and that's just going to cover that little gap right there. And by the way guys, we're leaving a little gap right here, and that's just so that we can place levers right here to activate neon wires that we're going to be placing right here. But anyways guys, the next step is actually to put on the top layer of this roof, and we're actually going to be placing these large floors directly in line with the edge of these wedges right here. So I'm just going to place this right here to make sure that I'm going to get this right. I'm just going to place that right there. But we actually want to come out like 3 studs on this side. Just going to place it right there. That's perfect. And now I'm going to destroy these. We don't need those anymore. And now I'm just going to fill this all in with these large floors basically. And guys, that's actually going to be the last large floor. We're gonna have to go grab some more birch wood because yeah, we're out once again. I told you guys this is gonna take a lot of wood. So yeah, let's just go get some more birch wood real quick. Alright, that's hopefully gonna be all that we're gonna need for the rest of the project. Alrighty guys, we got all of the large floors in, so there we go. Now we just need to fill in the little gaps that aren't going to be filled in with large floors. So we're gonna place a row of these smooth walls right here, and that's actually gonna overhang by 3. So yeah, let's just fill all those in like so. And now we're actually gonna have to make this perfectly aligned with this down here. So I think that's actually 2 studs right there. Oh, it's actually 1 stud off. So yeah, I'm just going to extend that out by 1 stud like so, and we're actually going to be stacking this too high, so I'm just gonna use skinny smooth walls. So there we go. Now we can just fill in the rest of this because like I said, we're going to be stacking this too high. So yeah, I'm just filling this entire thing in, and there we go. We got this 2 studs high, and it just goes out 3 studs, and this is actually perfectly aligned with that, as well as right here, this is perfectly aligned with those wedges. And now, speaking of wedges, we're actually going to do the exact same thing we did right here, just on this higher layer. So we're just gonna place a bunch of upside down wedges right here, and that's just gonna give it a really cool shape. And then back here, we're actually just gonna replicate this exact same thing up here. So I'm just gonna take a 2/4 wedge and place it right here and right here, flip it over, and then do the exact same thing until we get to this point. And now the top we actually need to fill in, so we're just gonna place a whole row of these. Okay guys, so to make the next step not look terribly weird, I'm actually gonna move these backwards a little bit, and that's just gonna give us a little bit more space to actually make this back part with the conveyors look more seamless. So I'm just gonna put in a couple of short smooth walls right here, and that's just going to fill in those gaps. So I'm just going to go ahead and place down a bunch of these smooth walls and then some of these wedges right here. And now this part was pretty time consuming. I basically just put a bunch of conveyors down to fill all of those gaps on the sides. And then for the back, I got 9 pressure plates and 18 buttons, and I used those to fill the back. Now I had to place the pressure plates against a guide blueprint that was placed against the lower layer to get the placement right. And then from there, I could just place the rest of the pressure plates against each other, which made everything seamless. Now for the buttons, it was a very similar process. I had to place them against guide blueprints, but I also had to move the wedges above them because they were in the way. And now guys, with that done, I'm actually going to place this side back in. And now from there, I can actually place these 2/4 wedges rotated like this. And then if I press T, then I can actually get those in, and you guys can see that that clips through. So I'm just rotating these in, and there we go. That's looking awesome, and now the back is all seamless. Oh, but yeah, guys, there we go. We have successfully finished all of the structures for today. So next, what we're gonna do is just a bunch of neon wiring. So we're just gonna start off by placing a neon wire on this corner right here. And you guys can see that that just kind of fills in that gap right there, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm just gonna fill that all the way up to the top. And yeah, that is looking so seamless. Oh, that's so cool. All right, let's do the other side real quick. And with that, guys, the building should now be fully sealed, I believe. So yeah, that's looking so cool. I really like the look of that black right there. Alrighty guys, next we're actually going to need a bunch of levers because we need to activate the next neon wires that we place. So I think we're going to need at least 10. So that should be 10 levers right there. And now we're actually going to place a lever right here. It's going to be kind of hidden, and actually I want to make sure that it's activated before I place it. So let's just go ahead and place it right there. And now, hopefully, we should get a signal. Let's see. Oh, yes, perfect. Nice. So we are basically seamlessly activating this. There are no activation methods visible, which is super awesome. And now we just gotta wrap that all the way around the shop. And yeah, so far this is looking so freaking cool. Those neon wires just bring the build to life. That is so cool. All right, guys, that is the last cyan neon wire that we had. And yeah, we've just completely ran out of neon wires, but hopefully you guys can see just how epic this is making the shop look. It is actually taking this to the next level. I really like the way that that is looking. So yeah, guys, we're gonna need some neon wires. So let's get over to Link's Logic as fast as possible. We're gonna need a lot. Apparently that absurd amount of neon wires that we already got is not gonna be enough, so we need to get more. Okay guys, I was just AFK and I came back to this. Jab, did you have anything to do with this? Why is my car here? What did you do, Jab? How did this happen, Jab? All right, we're about to arrive. What am I gonna do? Let's try blueprint glitching. I can't back it up. Okay. There we go. Alright, that is going to be all of the neon wires. I think if I continue buying neon wires, I'm going to go completely broke. We're already going broke because I'm at 29,000 lumber bucks. I am freaking poor at this point. These neon wires are expensive. Jab, did you just drive into my truck? I was loading that. Okay. Goodbye, Jab. What are you doing? Alright, I guess we're gonna go like this. Alright, let's get these back to the base. And yeah, now we can we can finish this right here. Jab, you've made an absolute mess. Oh. Alrighty guys, that's going to complete the wrap of neon wires all the way around the shop. I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to double layer that. I think we do have enough neon wires for that, so I'm just going to try it and see how it looks. Alrighty guys, I have finished that. We did have to take a little bit from the sign because we ran out of cyans, but I just double layered all of that, and yeah, that does look a little bit better. I was a bit worried that it would be too bright, but it looks like it is not too bright, so that is awesome. And guys, that is just taking the shop to the next level. I really like the way that that is looking. So we are gonna have to replace some of these on the sign with some other neon wires. And there we go. Now the next thing is actually to write the word shop on both sides of the shop, just so that people know what this building is. And we're gonna be doing those with lit neons, so I'm actually gonna place some levers. It's kind of hard to tell where we're gonna need activation points, so I'm just gonna have to estimate, and if I'm wrong, I'll have to move them a little bit. And yeah guys, through that little gap right there, you can actually see the levers right there. Those will be used to activate the neon wires, but from this angle, I can definitely see that I got the placements a little wrong. I'm just gonna move some of these over a little bit. And yeah, hopefully that'll be a little bit more accurate. So now if I place a neon wire right there, it should activate, as you guys can see, just because it's so close to the output of that lever. So now we just need to write the word shop on this. Okay guys, I have just spent an absurd amount of time trying to get this right, but you guys can see I got the shop written out, and I got it on this side. For some reason, this side just looks so much better than this side, but I think they're pretty similar. I think they're looking pretty dope, guys. We got those neon wires in there, and that's looking super awesome, and I also added some violet neon wires right here. I really want some pink ones, but we gotta wait for that because those are really expensive. But yeah guys, the shop is looking so cool so far. I can't wait to get this all furnished in the next episode, because right now it is looking pretty empty in here. But don't worry guys, in the next episode we're gonna make this thing look so freaking epic. It's gonna be really cool. So yeah guys, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next episode. But yeah guys, I think that's gonna be it for building the shop for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching the construction of this epic shop. It's only gonna get more epic from here on out, and we're gonna be building some even cooler buildings later on. But in the next episode, we are going to be building a really cool, high-tech looking interior for this shop, and I can't wait. It's gonna hopefully attract a bunch of customers into the shop. Yeah guys, hopefully you guys are satisfied with the progress. I'm really happy with the way that it has come out. This is definitely not everything that we're adding to the shop. We gotta wait till the next episode to take this to the next level. But yeah, so far the progress is awesome. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Cyber series once it's out. See ya!